welcome back to the O-Cheap channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And in today's single fragrance review, we are taking a look at a recent addition to my collection that has quickly become one of my absolute favorites, especially out of the line of fragrances that this is a part of. It is right now in the top of my list. It is by Calvin Klein from the Eternity line, and it is this one here called Eternity Cologne. Now this one is one that was highly recommended. I see it pushed all the time from Ross at TLTG Reviews. He rates it as probably one of his favorite from the Eternity line as well. And he said he doesn't really like the original Eternity. He's okay with some of the other ones, but this is the one that has always stood out to him. And I actually saw it quite often at rack stores, namely at Ross Dress for Less. And so it was one that I always looked at and was like, you know what, one day I'll get that. One day I'll pick it up and it'll be back there. And I kept pushing it off, kept pushing it off. So finally one day I was like, you know what, now is the time, because it was for a very good price of like, I think $29.99, maybe even a little less than that. And I was like, well, what better time to get it than now? So I went ahead, scooped it up, and now I see why he pushed it so much, and I wish that I would have gotten into it a lot earlier. Before I delve into my personal experience with the fragrance, let's go ahead and go into that note breakdown. On the top notes, you have aldehydes, ginger, and juniper berries. The middle notes are bourbon geranium, cardamom, and mastic or lentisk. And the base notes are ambroxan, lauranox, and moss. So when you first spray this on, you're immediately gonna get hit with those aldehydes notes. It's a very aldehydic fragrance, and really, this is the whole scent profile and life of the fragrance. And it's amazing that it's listed as a top note because you can really smell this all the way through, even to the dry down of the fragrance. But on the top, you really do get hit with that. It's a punch in the face, very soapy, very musky, very ozonic and brisk. And you do get hit with that ginger note as well, even though to me, I almost get a nuance of apple, which gives a lot of similarities with the aldehydes to being something that's akin to YSL-Y's EDT, or even maybe the EDP, but more of so the pre-formulation YEDT because of the aldehyde focus. But the ginger is in there, very noticeable, a little bit spicy, but more of a fruity sweet nuance. Maybe a little bit of the juniper berries. It adds in a little bit of woodiness as well. And then you get into the middle notes and the dry down, a lot of florals that come up through here as well. Very light, not too noticeable, but it is there, just adding in a lot more of the lightness and a lot of aromatic kind of nature to it as well. And then you do get hit with a lot of mostiness, a lot of greenness in here. You do get a little bit of a resinous warmth in there with that mastic, or it also listed as a different kind of note. It's the same kind of note that you get with Azzaro's Pour Homme Cologne Intense, that same resinous, almost balsamic kind of woody warmth in there as well, which is a very interesting addition to this style. And then in that deep dry down, you are still there with a lot of the aldehydes, very musky, but you add in a good bit of ambroxan, keeping everything a little bit of that ambery, ambergris kind of style, a lot of oak moss in there, because keeping it a little green, not really earthy, but it is still very fresh and vibrant. Overall, to describe this fragrance, it is just very aldehydic, soapy, musky, a little bit fruity, a little bit green, aromatic, and a lot of a warm balsamic kind of style in there as well, but not really in the dark sense. It keeps it very light and airy and expansive. And as far as performance with this is something that totally does away with the stigma of Calvin Klein, especially Eternity flankers, not performing that well, because this is a really, really good performer with a medium to loud projection for majority of the life of the fragrance, and longevity is easily 6+ hours. I've been able to spray this at the beginning of my workday, and even after I get home after a while, I still smell it on my neck and on my clothes. It lasts very, very well. And as far as seasonality, of course, with the description, you assume this is something that's gonna be working very well in warmer weather, particularly spring and summertime. Even in the high heat of summer, I can imagine this being very brisk, very uplifting, light and airy, perfect for those very, very hot days, keeping things very uplifted and light. This is a very, very easy wear, not too complicated, but it does have some neat nuances to it. And the scent profile overall is something that you're not really gonna see a whole lot in men's fragrances, especially with how aldehydic forward it is, which also is going to make it very polarizing. So if you're someone who does not like very strong aldehydes, especially these soapy, musky, almost metallic, piercing style of fragrances, then you're really not going to like this one that much, because this is very focused on that style. But if aldehydes is something that you like and you don't think it's too feminine, then this would work perfect for you. And I actually think that this is a very mature masculine style of aldehydes. It's not anything that leans too feminine, even with the florals that is added in here. I do think that the oak moss in here, that greenness of the ambroxan and those more balsamic warm notes do help it to stay more masculine leaning. To me, this is an amazing everyday wear, casual, formal office wear, even though you might want to watch your sprays if you're going to be like in an indoor setting, but you still definitely can wear this to the office, day or nighttime. I think it fits perfectly in any of those occasions. And I think the Cologne name on the flanker is less to do with the concentration and the performance and more to do with the style that it is, which is something that is very fresh, brisk, and light, and also keeping very masculine. Because a lot of people, rather than saying, hey, I got a fragrance for a man or a perfume for a man, they say I have a cologne for a man. So I think it leans more into that area. Let you know this is more of a light masculine style that it's going for. I think it's absolutely incredible. Like I said, one of my favorite Eternity flankers that I've collected so far, and who knows, it may still be that way even after I have the whole line of fragrances. It's just really nice, a very clean masculine scent that is perfect for a signature and would work well, I think, for any guy out there if you want something that is very fitting for the high heat of spring and summertime especially. But yeah, that is my take and review on Calvin Klein's Eternity Cologne, a very underrated, not just flanker in the series, but a very underrated scent in general and fragrance in general. I don't see a whole lot of people talk about this one, save a few people out there who are in the know. And availability on this is very high, or at least as far as I've seen, because every time I go into a rack store like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or even Burlington, I see at least one bottle on the shelf almost every time I'm there. So if you do happen to see this on the shelf, I definitely recommend picking it up and trying it out and see what you think about it. And if you do get the chance to try it out, or if you already have this fragrance, let me know what you think about it, what your thoughts are about it, and what do you get out of the fragrance? Is it different from the note breakdown that I've read or my personal experience? Let me know all that in the comments below as well. Or what fragrances do you think are akin to this that smell similar that I need to check out as well? Let me know about that so I can get my hands on them and see what I think about them. And per usual, if you like this style of video, these single fragrance reviews, give this video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making videos like this one where I may not upload them in a certain order, maybe just sporadic at times, but nonetheless, I will still make them and see what you think about them. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or what you see elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you can see when I upload more videos in the future, because trust me, there's a lot of things that I have planned, and I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And as always, I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.